There are 4 important rules to follow when learning to flip an RC helicopter. Follow these and you're much less likely to crash, and you'll find it quite easy too. So stick around to the end to get comfortable flipping in no time. Number 1, try it on a sim first. You'll be a lot more comfortable having done it on a sim before you risk your pride and joy. If you don't have a sim, you'll be fine if you're careful, but you should get one. They pay for themselves many times over with the crashes they prevent, and they are cheap too. Number 2, make sure your helicopter is in idle up before you try it.
Idle up 1.
And make sure it's well set up. If you don't know what idle up is, watch the video in the description and comments. If you're not in idle up, you're almost guaranteed to crash as you try to flip. As for being well set up, you mainly want to check the tail is holding well. So do a few pitch pumps up and down and make sure the tail isn't kicking out to the side, or the orientations might change halfway through the flip, which is not what you want. Number 3, start in the right place. Obviously you need enough height to recover if it goes wrong, at least roughly 20 to 30 feet, which is about 5 to 10 meters, depending on what helicopter you're using and if you've practiced on a sim first. You also need a good view of any movement in any direction. So before you start, you should have the helicopter ahead and to the side a bit too. If it's straight ahead, it'll be harder to judge any forwards or backwards movement, and it'll be harder to judge the pitch of the helicopter, so checking if it's pointing straight up or down or level, etc. So start about 30 degrees or so to the side. Number 4, and this is the most important rule of them all, don't stop halfway. What I mean is don't just flip 180 degrees and stop inverted. This is because if you stop inverted, you must be able to hover inverted or you'll lose control. And if you're only just learning to flip, you probably can't fly inverted yet. I'll do some videos on inverted flying eventually, so subscribe if you want to see them. So how do you actually do it? The basics are to apply and hold elevator in a direction you want to flip and keep adjusting the collective between positive, neutral and negative. The more elevator you use, the quicker you'll have to adjust the collective. I start with a little bump in the collective just before applying elevator to get it to kind of hang in the air as the rotation starts. As the pitching starts, you want to get the collective neutral as the helicopter becomes vertical. So if it's pointing straight up or down, you want the collective in the middle. So it's bump on the collective, apply elevator, then it's neutral, negative, neutral, positive, neutral, negative, neutral, positive. To stop, just center the cyclic when you're level, right side up. It's best to try this at a medium flipping speed at first. Too fast and you'll struggle to time the collective. Too slow and you'll struggle to maintain height as you change the lift vector during the flip and you dump the lift forwards or backwards. Now you've mastered flips after a bit of practice, you can apply the same technique to doing static rolls by using aileron instead of elevator. Now it's time to spice it up a bit and get fancy. You can try doing travelling flips by changing the timing of the collective, or flipping as before but starting it while you're moving sideways like this. Or combining a flip and roll by applying diagonal cyclic, i.e. elevator and aileron together in the same movement.